My name is Chase Higgins, and this is for EDSE 436 Culturally Responsive Learning Environment Interview video. I am being interviewed by my roommate who is not in class.
Chase, tell me about yourself and why you want to be a teacher at this school.
Yes, so hello, my name is Chase Higgins, and I am excited about the opportunity to join Excellent High School. I am passionate about fostering an inclusive and equitable learning environment that supports diverse student passions and needs. I saw that the school's mission to empower students through equity and excellence aligns perfectly with my vision as a physical education teacher. I aim to create a classroom or physical education environment where all students can feel valued, challenged, and supported in their academic and personal growth.
How do you plan to support students' academic, social, and emotional learning? Discuss how and why specific culturally responsive and sustaining pedagogical practices and social and emotional learning competencies will be employed in your practice to optimize learning for all students within your content area, instructional practice, and learning environment.
That's a really good question. So, first off, to support my students academically, socially, and emotionally throughout physical education, I will integrate CRSP practices that honor a student's cultural background and lived experiences. According to German in 2021, cultural responsive teaching fosters engagement by incorporating students' identities into their curriculum. In my classroom and physical education environment, I can employ diverse text, real-world applications, and games to help students collaborate in a physical education realm. As for social emotional learning, I feel like that is equally vital. And through the use of physical education, I can implement SEL competencies such as self-awareness and relationship skills through team activities or partner work or games that the students would play in my physical education classes in order to help students develop resilience and emotional intelligence.
How do you plan to incorporate literacy instruction that is responsive to students' identities in your classes? How will you plan instruction that supports multiple opportunities for students to effectively express their learning and use language and literacy to plan, revise, and engage in giving and receiving feedback as they critique and produce writing and oral presentations in various genres, including multimedia and recent information and communications technologies?
Yeah, so for literacy, it is foundational to all learning, and I ensure that the students can engage with the content and games that reflect their identities and lived experiences. I can also use cultural responsive literature, including diverse authors and narratives, such as when I'm giving them a unit on soccer, I could give them firsthand resources and articles to learn more about soccer. I also can employ multiple forms of literacy, such as them reading standards in physical education and also the background of each sport that they play, along with having peer review and collaborative workshops to help students develop critical tasks and skills that can help them when they do an activity in physical education.
How do you plan to build community as well as establish a culturally responsive learning environment in your content area?
By building a strong community in my classroom, it can start with establishing trust and respect throughout physical education. For example, as each student comes through class, I could do morning check-ins and ask them anything that they did over the weekend while they are doing stretching and preparing for my physical education class. I could also ensure classroom visuals, resources, and discussions when I am teaching a lesson or a unit plan in physical education to help the diversity of the student body, making every learner in my class feel represented and valued.
What are your expectations for behavior in class, and how will you respond to behavior that does not meet your expectations? How will you handle conflict and crisis that arise?
Yeah, so for physical education, my classroom expectations are rooted in respect, responsibility, and engagement. To ensure clarity with my students, I can co-create classroom norms with students at the beginning of the year to where the students can uphold those values between each and every student. So when behavior issues do arise, I can address them using the practices and going back to our values that we created as a class to help each student have a fun and exciting physical education during their time during the school year.
What are some of the day-to-day routines and procedures you will establish to help your classes operate effectively? Explain why and how.
Yeah, so establishing a structured yet flexible routine can ensure a smooth learning environment. I will begin each class with stretching while I am taking roll so the students are able to focus on being physically active and being their best part before they start the activities in class. From there, I can have clear learning objectives and transitions managed with timers and visual cues so that way each student knows what we are doing next in physical education, whether that's warming up, doing an activity, playing a game, or cooling down throughout class time. And at the end, I could also use exit tickets for quick formative assessments, allowing me to gauge student understanding and adjust instruction accordingly, depending on how well students pick this up. Thank you for your time and consideration. I appreciate the opportunity to discuss my teaching philosophy, and I hope that it aligns with what Excellence High School's mission is. Before we conclude, I'd love to hear more about how EHS supports teacher collaboration while implementing culturally responsive practices across different subject areas.
Thank you. Yeah, we encourage cross-disciplinary projects and co-teaching models that allow teachers to integrate diverse perspectives in their instruction. I mean, all new teachers receive mentorship from experienced faculty, so it helps support a lot of culturally responsive teaching.
Wow, that seems really cool. I can't wait to start working with EHS and hopefully get to learn things not only from other staff members and my peers, but along with the students, as I think it's very important to give them the best opportunities to grow.